We're going to take the North and never give it back.
So that's a good pick. You get the corner. I got to go bold, right? I got to go bold for this.
Yeah, she's got some nice.
Welcome back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're out there on YouTube, and also rate the show 5 stars everywhere that you get your podcast. What is going on, Bears fans? We're here to break down a very serious Chicago Bears loss, and I'm dressed up. We just got back from trick-or-treating, so went trick-or-treating, and I'm like, I gotta go live. So we went as, can anyone guess? So we went as Toy Story. So I am Bullseye. Not going to put on the full head right now, but probably won't be able to fit in the frame. But man, it was awesome. The trick-or-treating was super fun. I was Bullseye. My youngest daughter was Jessie. My oldest was Bo Peep. My wife was Barbie. And my 2 sons, one was the newborn was Buzz Lightyear. We decorated a stroller like Buzz Lightyear's spaceship. And then my oldest was Woody. So that was fun. But it made up for a absolutely lousy game that our Chicago Bears played. And exactly what everyone's saying out there in the chat, it was absolutely gross. It was a bad game. We end up losing 30-16 against the Baltimore Ravens at Baltimore. Now, I know it's difficult to play on the road and everything, but man, it was gross. As we say here on the show, it was absolutely gross. It was disappointing. And, I talked about it. I predicted the Bears to lose going against Lamar Jackson, not going against Tyler Huntley. And I think that's the thing that it feels so bad. It just feels so frustrating because of what happened and just the feeling of the game. And I want to just kind of give some overall thoughts with this game. And the biggest thing was at the very beginning of the game, we were able to just kind of go through and go down the first drive. And it was a good, promising drive. You saw we were able to run the football, and we were running the football really, really well. And then as we're running the football, made a couple good throws out there. And then we get down to the red zone, and let me just pull up exactly what happened, because I jotted it down in my notes, yep, going to talk about that on the show. Then the first thing is you get the false start on 3rd and 1. And then after that, they throw it to Rome. So you get some yards. And the first down, you run it with Swift. Good run. And it's, second and 1 yard. And then there's a missed block that then makes it a loss of down, makes it go backwards, and then a sack. And then you just get a field goal. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up first was that felt like this game. And this is what kind of all rolled in together. Ben Johnson has talked about this, and this is what we were talking about on the show before, where the Bears the Bears lucked out because of all those turnovers that they were getting. And metrics will say that turnovers are kind of a fluky stat for the most part, except for when you're the Lovie Smith Bears, and that's just what you get. It's ups and downs. And since they didn't have that crutch of the turnovers to first off protect the defense from just any offense that's on the board, but then also help out this offense just try and get some sort of points. And that, I think, was just the most frustrating part of this entire game. It was a very not fun game to watch. And it's just because there should be so much more, and this team just isn't doing that. And Ben Johnson was asked about the penalties, because yet again, this is another game where the Bears 11 penalties. So 11 penalties for the Bears, totaling in 79 total yards. It's awful. And Ben Johnson has said, he was asked about it. He's like, I have told them what we think. It's now up to the players to execute. And they haven't. And I know that there's some that are ticky-tack that just might not be penalties. I thought that this game, minus the whole, 3rd down push off by DeAndre Hopkins, it wasn't a bad called game by any stretch of the imagination compared to the other two. That's where I'm not going to yell at the refs for this. There was bad calls, right? But it wasn't as egregious as I'd say that the last two. So to me, I just felt like this just kind of showed why you need to capitalize, why you need to get things done. We had more yards than them. And they almost doubled our score. And I think that's what they talk about with execution, punching it in, that the Bears simply just could not do. So, to me, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. You know what? I'm going to put on the hood. I'm going to put on the hood. I'm going to put on the hood for the rest of the show just because I'm going to try and liven up the mood a little bit more. And we'll see how it goes. Actually, I can't even do that. This is a little bit too much. I'm not going to be able to wear that. I didn't realize how much of the face that actually covers up, but yeah, not going to do that now. So, hood's off for this one. But what we'll talk about with this game, we'll kind of continue going through. It was bad. The special teams was bad. So much of this game was bad. So let's just begin. First off, we'll talk about the injuries, right? We'll talk about this. This is a small little piece. Now, first off, we know about, and I wasn't able to talk about this on the show, but the big thing with the injury, the big news was Kyler Gordon. And Kyler Gordon is a huge, huge loss. And we saw that today. We saw what happens when you don't have Kyler out there. But at the same time, he's just one person. He's not your entire run defense, just like Tyreek Stevenson is not your entire pass defense. That was the frustrating part of just the defense looking that bad. And I get that it's you want all those people out there, but man, the interior should be fine. But you didn't see that great of a pass rush. And also you didn't see just great like the run stuffing was solid, but yeah, you missed having some of those players out there, like a Kyler Gordon for sure. But then also too, you saw some people go down. You saw Dominique Robinson go down immediately. Then you see, we also saw the other defensive end, Shamar Turner, go down with a knee injury. That's going to be the interesting one to keep an eye out for, just to see if that turns into anything more serious. But with that, you then had Daniel Hardy, who's exclusively a special teamer, go out there and play defensive end, and he wasn't any good. Then we got to see even more snaps with Dio, and it was awful. Dio Odengbo did not register a single pass rush win, and he basically played every single snap out there today, and he played on both sides, going against Roger Rosengarten and the other side, and then against the run, looked bad as well. Dio, thank you for taking our $16 million a year that we could spend on an actual pass rusher. So thank you for that, and hey, enjoy your generational wealth. That's all I could say, man. But then we have then also the other piece too, Luther Burden going down with a concussion as well. And then also too, I just thought it was interesting just with we had Kyle Monungai. Kyle Monungai, we saw a little bit more snaps with him over Swift. So Swift's always been on the injury report, but it just definitely felt like he was actually kind of banged up. And that's why we saw more Monungai out there. So yeah, injuries, we'll just have to monitor some of those pieces as we just kind of continue moving forward. But let's move forward with the offense review, and we got to talk about this. So let me flip over to the offensive side of the football. And the offensive numbers, Caleb Williams, 285 yards. So people might see that and go, wow, amazing. After the game, I went over to my neighbor's house, obviously trick-or-treating, and to go all trick-or-treating. They're all Packer fans over there. And someone's like, well, I saw Caleb, 285, pretty good, right? And it's like, well, actually, when it felt bad, and you see it, and you're like, oh, 25 of 38, so it's above 60%. But you saw a lot of those were quick screen passes, were quick, easy passes that were out there. And to me, I'm not here to just I know some people are like, oh man, is it time to give up? Is it? No, but there is something that you can say. This is 3 consecutive games where Caleb has had bad games. And it's not looked good. It really hasn't looked good. The first 4 games, I said, he looked good. He looked competent. He looked solid, right? Did he look amazing? No. He looked solid, though. In the past 3 games, he looked inept. He really did look inept. And when you watch this offense, I felt like if you had to Like, because I'm asking the question for you guys out there. Normally I ask, like, how would you grade everything? And 67% of you are saying Caleb, 11% saying coaching, 22% saying injuries. And I kind of agree with that. I think that, and then now we have one saying defense out there. But yeah, I felt like you are going against one of the worst offenses out there. And every time we passed the football, it did not feel good. It did not feel okay. It did not feel right. And anytime that he was throwing, I was getting flashbacks to like Justin Fields, where every time Justin Fields was throwing it, and like Mitch Trubisky, when it was over the middle, you're like, okay, is this going to be an interception? And it was like, I felt my own personal lack of faith in him, and lack of faith in him being like, okay, this is how this game is going. And this is not a good defense. Last week was not a good defense. And you're not taking advantage of that stuff. And so, yeah, a lot of his yards came in garbage time. If you exclude that, he's probably only got 220, and not a great game. But when you have 220 and an interception and you're down for most of the game, that's not great. And just the eye test, I think that's the thing. Throw the stats out. The eye test just did not look great. There was a lot of those consistent misfires that we just kept on seeing. Taking a sack, the interception was bad. The intentional grounding that we saw as well. And yeah, and just going through like the different drives that we had. And also, actually, I want to call this out too. I felt like they dumbed down the offense, because I saw someone post out there, I think it might be time that the Bears dumb down this offense. Maybe it's too complex. They dumbed it down. It felt like they were running a lot of rollouts, a lot of bootlegs today. Simple, easy stuff. That's what they did with Mitch Trubisky year one. Cuts the field in half. You only have to focus on this one half spot. And that's the thing that is kind of frustrating, is because you're saying like, okay, we simplified it and it didn't look good, right? How do you respond now? Because I think like with Caleb, how do you respond with this? Because 3 bad games, this stuff is on you right now. And how are you going to respond? So the other pieces too, second drive, some mistakes, poor blocks, poor passes, and that ends up in the field goal. Third drive, bad DJ run. Like, can we just stop DJ Moore running the football? Like, just period. He's not a running back. He doesn't see it like a running back. He's explosive after the catch, but it's kind of like in the sense of Devin Hester. I'm not saying he's to Devin Hester's level, but like when wide receivers or kick returners, punt returners have the ball, they position the blocks downfield. When they're in front of them, you have to find the small hole. And it just, DJ, time and time out, just shows that he can't do that. But then also, too, there's a whiff on a blitz that ended up having, Caleb get hit. And then Swift had that cutback screen, cut back the screen, didn't go well. And then the fourth drive, Caleb ran, but could have gone out of bounds, and then had the intentional grounding, and then they're not able to get the plays. So that's the thing. It just was time and time again, just bad plays, bad situations. We had a great kick return, but then weren't able to capitalize on that. And that's just that's not good. That, just simply put, that's not good. The running game, though, I'll say, first, DeAndre Swift not getting as many, I felt like they kind of got away from the running game a little bit too much. And I know, Monungai, 3.4 yards a carry. A good handful of those came at the line of scrimmage. And then DeAndre Swift averaging 4.1 yards a carry. Would have liked to see that go a little bit higher, but I felt like the running game was solid. You can't blame the running game. The running game was solid. It's what you expected out of this running game. It was just the passing. They just weren't averaging 7 yards a carry and 6 yards a carry. So they didn't carry you. They just did well. And then you get to the receivers. Rome looked great. Colston had a solid game. DJ had, a solid game. OZ got way too involved inside of the game plan. And then we also saw Duvernay come in a little bit at the end as well. So, but let's go into this too, and let's see what everyone had to say. Yeah, we got some gross stuff out there. Yeah, and I agree with Joe, stacking up too many. Drax, what is good? We got Philip out there. Lots of good people out there. And then, yeah, Philip saying, knew that the first 2 drives ending in field goals was a bad thing. And yeah, and I agree with Taco Man. I cringe every time that he's back there. DJ's back there taking a running back snap. Ron, what's good? Yeah, agreed. And then, yeah, Bengals lost to the Jets. Well, Bears beat the Bengals. It's like, it goes back to this. Joe Flacco's figuring things out. Like, he really is. He's figuring out, Flacco's showing, like, this is how you run. Or, like, this is how I run this offense. I have good receivers. I can get some yards. So, yet again, if it's going to be a shootout, I don't count on the Bears. Like, that was the whole thing with this. Why I chose them to lose against Lamar was you're not going to beat them in a shootout because the way that this offense has been running, we don't do a shootout. We just kind of piddle. And then also, yeah, how is Hightower employed? Yeah, this special teams, the coverage, we'll get to that. Yeah, and it's true with Drax. Like, yeah, the defense did keep them in the game for 3 quarters. That is right, because yeah, you only gave up 16 points. And I will say this, right? I know that there's the 6.5 point stat. Cooper Rush is different than Tyler Huntley. Huntley runs the same type of offense that you would with Lamar Jackson. It's much more similar in the system. Tyler Huntley has won games. You've seen the win record. He's won games in the NFL. Not like he's not a starter, but he's a solid backup. But yeah, it was pitiful. It was pitiful. And yeah, dress up as Caleb and go trick or treat. I was going to keep my my Bears sweatshirt on and say I'm the scariest thing. Hope. But man, it was not good. It wasn't good. Just the offense. And I want to say this as well. All this negativity, actually, first off, I'll say one more negative point. I've talked about this on this show. Theo has not been good. And I know that there's other people that do film. There's another person that does film breakdowns and stuff that's much more famous, much more rich than I am, that has done a breakdown, has done multiple breakdowns of Theo and, claims that he's great. Theo has been bad when it comes down to the pass rush, and we saw this today. Keep in mind, this is one of the worst sacking teams, one of the worst pass rush teams, and Theo Bennett on first glance, according to PFF, had a 7.3% pressure percentage, which is not good against one of the worst pass rush teams that's out there. He had a bad game. And just watching it on first glance too, you saw that. That left side is consistently collapsing. Now, I'm just throwing this out there, not saying it's true, not saying it's false or anything like that, just pointing something out that Caleb's had 3 bad games and has had consistent pressure on that left-hand side. I'm not calling for Darnell to come back. I mean, I'm not calling for Braxton to come back in or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, like, is he feeling the pressure? And that's throwing him off or something like that. But it's different when Theo is not as good of a pass protector as Braxton Jones. As crazy as that sounds, as blasphemous as that sounds, I know some people might be a little bit in their feelings about that, but it's true. Theo has not been good at pass protecting for the past 3 weeks, and he's not been good at that. He's been a solid run blocker, but man, yeah, Caleb was yelling at Theo. I didn't see that, but it wouldn't surprise me because, dude, he kept getting whooped, and that's the thing. That's the biggest thing. It's just when you have that, like, you're just getting pressured, and it's going to throw you off. And yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But on the flip side, Darnell Wright has over an 86 PFF grade on first glance, and no pressures allowed on first glance as well. See, that's how you do it. Darnell Wright's really good at football. Darnell Wright, like I've said, you have 3 really good offensive linemen, and they really did seem that like they wanted to send the blitz, send the pressure, and throw him off of his spots, and they did that. But now let's talk a little bit about the defense. Let's talk about the defense review. And I'll tell you this, like, they stopped the run. And I think that's got to be one of the most positive things to talk about with this defense. They did, in fact, stop the run. Derrick Henry, only 3.4 yards a carry. They've been able to run the ball, and the Bears stopped them. So, and without Kyler Gordon. And if you want to take away something good from this game, take that away. yeah, you can see 5.1 yards a carry on the ground, but a lot of that was because of they had Isaiah Flowers run, they had Tyler Huntley run as well, but holding Derrick Henry to 3.4 yards a carry on 21 carries. Yeah, two touchdowns, whatever. This isn't fantasy football. This is real football. Holding Derrick Henry for 3.4 yards a carry when he's averaging close to 5, that's a win. That's a win right there. They should be proud of themselves for what they did there. Now, on the flip side, Keaton Mitchell showed them that they couldn't handle speed. Like, there's a couple snaps out there where TJ Edwards has been great, but TJ Edwards, I don't think that he knew how fast Keaton Mitchell was, because like on the big 25-yard carry from him, you saw Edwards try to like snap, catch him off guard and like try to make a pursuit angle, and then Mitchell just hit a different gear and blew by him. So that was something that I noticed, but we should be proud of that at least. That was something that has been very difficult, and we weren't able to do that. And then Tyler Huntley, on the other side, he was able to pass on us very consistently. It seemed like just at will. And I think that it also comes down to we can't get pressure. With our most expensive defensive line in the league, or what top 5 most expensive defensive lines in the league, we couldn't get pressure. Montez Sweat, he had a sack. He had a solid game, but yet again, like I've said on this show, that's Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat is not going to be your star pass rusher. He's not going to be your dominant player. He's going to get his 8 sacks a year, and that's going to be it. He's going to be a solid run defender, and that's it. He's going to just be a good player. And he had 7 tackles today, 1 sack, 1 TFL. Solid game. But on the flip side, you didn't get you didn't get a lot of other pressure. Javon Dexter, I actually thought that he had some pretty good pressure, ends up getting a sack on the game. I think it was when Huntley kind of it was like a general pressure. And even, Grady Jarrett even kind of got a little like pushback and kind of caused one of those sacks. But yet again, Grady Jarrett's not looking great. Dayo Adengbo, I think that I predicted him to be the Cody Parkey Award winner, and my God, is he getting that this year. 0% pass rush win rate so far on first watch. And like he played like every snap and didn't even like win once. And then even in the run game, yes, he has 8 tackles, and that's impressive, right? But man, he just my wife was watching the game with me and goes, "Who's that 55? He's awful." And I'm like, "That's our $17, $16 million a year man right there." And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry." He looked awful. He's been bad. He's been bad. There's no way around it. But yeah, it was just the passing game was, they were able to do what they wanted with the passing attack. We were trying to stop the run, but yeah, obviously when you're down, you're starting 4 corners. What else are you going to do? You can't fault like a Ryan Poles to be like, yeah, what if all your starters and your main backup go down, right? You don't plan for that, but that's what ended up happening. And that's why I still stand by I'm fine if you sign another person, sign a free agent. Don't trade for a corner, right? Do not trade for a corner. I saw some people we should trade. I think Alontae Taylor, let's trade for him. No, don't trade for one. Sign one. Don't trade for one because it's just going to be a rental. We don't need a rental at corner. We're not going to win the Super Bowl this year. We're not going to. We're not going to figure it out. But I'm down for us to make the playoffs and just sign someone, and then that's all that you need to do. But yeah, the defense, it was somewhat like Swiss cheese. I like it when we send the blitz because it's the only way that we get pressure. But yeah, not great. And then if we continue to just the not great special, the not great just entire Sunday and wrapping it all up, special teams review. First off, Devin Duvernay, good return, 49 yards, got us into basically field goal range and caused us to get, or I don't even know if we ended up with points. Maybe we think we did. But yeah, I'm trying to block out the game as much as I can right there. But yeah, Cairo Santos, 3 of 4, almost hit that long one, but yet again, leg not really get there. But the big thing, the kick returns. They average over 30 yards a kick return. it's just unacceptable. It's just so frustrating to see that time and time again. Last week, we had the great Travis Homer, and obviously it fixed that. Turns out he isn't the greatest special teamer of all time, and we just reverted back to our normal selves. And yeah, over 30 yards a kick return. It's just bad. I wish that they changed the kick return rule. Hightower has not figured it out, right? I get that it's brand new and it's difficult to coach and figure something out that's new, but watch what other people are doing. Coach that. It just doesn't seem like he knows how to coach that new kick return rule at all. So, yeah, but then there, Tyler Loop, 3 of 3. They punted it twice, 2 times inside of our 20. We got one. That was a touchback from Torrey Taylor. Then we had the one that was like an excellent punt, but then penalty. It was on like the 2-yard line. So it's like, of course. But then I thought the other one was inside the 20, but it didn't count it in the stat sheets. So it was bad. It was bad. And let's just wrap this game up though. Let's put it all together. Let's wrap this up. Who is your MVP, ladies and gentlemen? Who's your MVP? And also I see Taco Man. Who are we going to trade for? I think I might do a trade show tomorrow. I have to see how my schedule is. But I know that, yeah, the trade deadline's coming up. And we can talk a little bit about that then. But, yeah. And, yeah, we got to talk about they can't keep getting away with this with the refs. And then Bears Bones, what's good? Bears Bones, hope all is well. Saying the TD to the tight end. The Bears looked, lost before the snap with so many Ravens in the backfield. Yeah. And then, yeah, there was just so many things like just didn't look great. And then, yeah, most yards given up per, there's that stat that we have, the most yards given up per play, but then we also had the most turnovers. It's like, yeah, that actually perfectly sums up the Bears. And yeah, I agree with True Pilgrim. Just ill prepared. Like they just played bad, right? But yeah, let's talk about MVBs, and then we can turn a page to the new year, or to the new game, and see what the Bears can do next week. But with this, like, yeah, I don't think running backs don't get it. Definitely not giving it to Caleb. Like I said, I think that ignore the stats. I thought that he played bad. I wasn't a big fan. I didn't think DJ had a great game. I know exactly who gets this. Like Rome. To me, I thought Rome was the offense. I thought Rome played very well. I thought that Rome also had that really good catch on the sideline with someone hitting him from behind. And, the contested catch, that's something that's been difficult for him to get. But then on the defensive side, I don't know. No one really sticks out from the defensive side of the football for the Bears with this, right? No one necessarily had a dominant game. Yet again, the run defense was great, but I don't know on first watch who's to thank with that. I would assume TJ Edwards, just because TJ Edwards has been very productive. But like I said, with some of those Keaton Mitchell runs, he kind of took some bad angles with that. So I think to me, I'm just going to make it a little bit. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to give it out to Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze gets my most valuable Bear award. I thought that he had a great game. I thought that he obviously over 100 yards receiving, 10 targets, 7 catches. Like that was great. Just keep giving him the ball. Really, really like that. He was getting open. Still have some questions with some of the contested catches because it always seems like if he gets hit, then he kind of folds a little bit. So kind of like what True Pilgrim's talking about with his softness and stuff. Like, yeah, there is something to where he doesn't go up like strong. I'm going to get it. And, and he's big. The dude's big. He can jump. He can do it all. But yeah, sometimes with those contested catches, yeah, it doesn't come away clean. But man, I'm giving it to Rome. Rome is the MVP. Ladies and gentlemen, bad game overall for our Chicago Bears. But man, we'll try and do something. We'll see what ends up happening next week. But I'll tell you, I felt like we should have been able to win this game. And I know a lot of us are frustrated, but like I said, I'll see if I might do a show tomorrow. I'll just have to see what's going on with everything, timing wise. But then also we'll be going live Wednesday, as we always do, to kind of preview the next opponent. And hopefully that will be a little different of a story. But we'll keep you all tuned up with everything that's going on with the Chicago Bears. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe everywhere that you get your podcast. And with that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we are out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair, and you know that she's a bad chick.